Now that the importing process is completed, we recommend loading a couple of scans for review to ensure that the importing process seems to have worked. And you can do this by loading a couple scans and reviewing the segmentations, which in this case look correct. And we can try a different one. Also, in this case, importing looks like it worked correctly. Doing this for all the scans can obviously be cumbersome, which is why we've developed the ProSurgical capabilities to help you analyze your segmentations. The next thing we want to do here is create an attribute database and assign those attributes to the organ segmentations that you have. So in this case, I'm going to create the AMIS 2022 database and create two attributes that we have for this set of scans. For the organ attribute, we want to specify the organs using this particular format here. So each of these fields, separated by the pipe, allows us to choose that value when assigning the attribute. The second attribute that we have is left or right side, and we can specify that, just like this, with the left and right here. More information about the attribute settings is described along the right-hand side over here. And now we've completed creating our attribute database, and we can save that. And what that does is it creates a CSV file in your documents/attributes folder. And if you open up that file and take a look, it describes the two attributes, the type, and then the fields that are available for selection of those attributes. You are able to share this file with your colleagues that are working on the same or similar projects so that they have access to the same attributes. Now what we want to do is assign these attributes to our objects in our scan database. So if we go back to the folder that now includes our proseg files, we can look for the different values of the objects that are defined within there. For the AMIS data, the values of the objects correlate to the attribute type. So 1 is spleen, 2 is right kidney, 3 is left kidney, and so on. And we can update those attributes here by selecting the organ attribute for value number 1, for example, and we can add that to the object. And this list over here contains a summary of changes that will occur for each of the scans. So in this case, it's saying for each of these scans, the object with the value number 1 will be changed to have the spleen attribute from a blank or empty attribute. And once we are satisfied with those changes, we can apply them to all the scans, which is occurring here. And we can watch the progress here. When this is completed, the values will be updated here, and we can move on to the next object attribute to update. And now that updates. And now we can see that object number 1 has been updated to the spleen, and moving to object number 2 now, this is the right kidney. So we can specify kidney here. We can update the side to include the right side, and then review the results. All of these scan object value 2 will be updated to right kidney and from empty, and we can apply those changes as well. Overall, this allows you to assign consistent attributes to each of your objects so that you do not have to do it individually per scan. That ensures robustness and improves consistency across your training data sets. And again, when this completes, it will reload all these proseg files and update the values. And now we can see both spleen and right kidney are updated. And you want to continue this process for the rest of your objects.